Why did the Panama Canal bankrupt France? The answer is simple: mosquitoes. From 1881 to 1889, France attempted to build the canal. An estimated 20,000 people died. Most fell to yellow fever and malaria. Why was this canal so difficult? This slide explains everything. It wasn't primarily about the water level difference between the two oceans. The canal must cross the continental divide, requiring ships to rise to Gatun Lake. That elevation is roughly 85 feet. To achieve this, a three-stage lock system was designed. A single passage takes 8 to 10 hours. But the real challenge wasn't engineering. It was tropical disease. Mosquitoes carrying yellow fever and malaria struck down workers one after another. France had the engineering solution, but they lacked the medical solution. This consumed roughly 20,000 lives and France's national budget. This is a fact proven by a century of engineering and medical history. Not speculation. Analysis established through records and statistics. And this is understandable. Look at the blueprints. Follow the death records. Now you can understand the truth about the Panama Canal. Today I'll show you how it works. The core of the Panama Canal lies in its three-stage lock system. At the Gatun locks on the Atlantic side, ships rise from sea level to roughly 85 feet. They ascend in 3 stages. This reaches Gatun Lake. Next, at the Pedro Miguel locks on the Pacific side, ships descend from Gatun Lake to Miraflores Lake at roughly 55 feet. Finally, at the Miraflores locks, they descend in 2 stages to sea level and reach the Pacific. The old Panamax locks were designed at roughly 110 feet wide and 1,000 feet long. And critically, water filling and draining in the lock chambers operates primarily by gravity. No dependence on pumps. Water flows naturally from high to low. Meanwhile, operational equipment like gates and controls requires electricity and machinery. This design enables long-term operation as a major shipping route through extensive maintenance and upgrades. France's failure resulted from 3 factors. First, medical ignorance. At the time, understanding that mosquitoes transmitted yellow fever and malaria was insufficient. Hospitals collected standing water, which became mosquito breeding grounds. Workers went to hospitals for treatment and contracted more diseases there. Thousands died annually. Estimates vary, but roughly 20,000 deaths occurred over 8 years. Second, engineering arrogance. France was intoxicated by the success of the Suez Canal. They planned a sea-level canal. But Panama's terrain was completely different from flat Egypt. Tropical downpours and rugged topography made construction extremely difficult. Third, financial collapse. France invested a total of 2.8 billion francs. In 1889, the project went bankrupt. 200,000 investors lost their entire fortunes. The French government tried to cover up this failure, but the scandal shook the nation. America learned from France's failure. In 1904, they restarted construction. The most important change was the medical approach. Dr. William Gorgas directed the mosquito eradication campaign. Building on established mosquito vector theory, systematic sanitation measures, including drainage, fumigation, screens, and quarantine, were implemented. All standing water was drained. Buildings were fitted with screens. Mosquito breeding was prevented. As a result, the death rate dropped dramatically. Second, design modification. They abandoned the sea-level canal and adopted a lock-based system. Gatun Lake was artificially created, utilizing the terrain. This drastically reduced construction volume. Third, organizational management. A railway transport system was built to streamline soil removal. Workers received proper housing, medical care, and meals. This maximized efficiency. After 10 years of construction, the canal opened on August 15, 1914. The Panama Canal is the artery of world trade. Roughly 3% to 5% of global maritime trade depends on this canal. Under normal conditions, approximately 14,000 vessels can transit annually. Consider, for example, routes from major Asian ports to the North American East Coast. Compared to routing through the Strait of Magellan, distance and time are dramatically reduced. Transit fees fluctuate based on vessel type, size, and supply-demand dynamics. In fiscal year 2023, the canal's total revenue reached roughly $5 billion. This is a critical revenue source for the Panamanian government. And this canal guarantees flexibility in global logistics. When U.S. West Coast ports are congested, cargo can reroute through the canal to the East Coast. If this canal were closed, global supply chains would plunge into serious disruption. This is the geopolitical importance held by a canal just 50 miles long. In 2016, the Panama Canal completed a massive expansion. Total cost, $5.2 billion. Construction period, 9 years from 2007 to 2016. New locks were built, enabling larger vessels to transit. The original locks could only accommodate vessels roughly 110 feet wide and 1,000 feet long. This is called Panamax. The new locks were built at 400 feet long, accommodating massive vessels up to 200 feet in length. This is called Neo-Panamax. Container capacity increased dramatically from a maximum of 5,000 TEU to 14,000 TEU class. Now the world's largest container ships can pass through the canal. And the new locks feature an important technological innovation. Each chamber has 3 water-saving basins designed to reuse 60% of the water used. Still, water shortage remains a serious problem. But the Panama Canal faces a new threat: climate change. Lock operations consume massive amounts of fresh water. Usage varies with the old locks, new locks, and water-saving basin operational conditions. The old locks discharge large volumes of water into the ocean, but the new locks are designed to reuse portions of water through saving basins. Still, water shortage is severe. This water comes from Gatun Lake. Gatun Lake depends on annual rainfall. But in recent years, El Niño and other factors have intensified drought, making rainfall variability an operational risk. In 2023, the El Niño phenomenon caused water levels to drop to record lows. Canal authorities imposed transit restrictions. Daily transits were reduced from roughly 40 vessels under normal conditions to 24 at the worst point. This extended wait times and increased logistics costs. But the situation is changing. In 2024, the rainy season arrived and water levels recovered. Transit capacity is returning to normal levels. And the Panamanian government finally approved a massive project to draw water from the nearby Indio River. This could extend the canal's lifespan by decades. Restrictions due to drought are not permanent and fluctuate with rainfall conditions. Meanwhile, canal authorities view water itself as the bottleneck and are urgently pursuing long-term measures like watershed management and securing new water sources. Now, let's organize today's analysis. Here's the summary. First, engineering marvel. The 3-stage lock system raises ships to roughly 85 feet to cross the Continental Divide. Water filling and draining in lock chambers operates primarily by gravity, without pump dependence. Meanwhile, operational equipment like gates and controls requires electricity and machinery. This enables long-term operation through extensive maintenance and upgrades. Under normal conditions, approximately 14,000 vessels can transit annually. Second, medical victory. France failed with an estimated 20,000 casualties. America executed systematic sanitation measures, drainage, fumigation, screens, quarantine, through mosquito eradication campaigns. Dr. William Gorgas's strategy was the key to success. Third, climate change risks and countermeasures. Gatun Lake's water level drop triggered transit restrictions in 2023. At the worst point, daily transits were reduced to 24 vessels. But in 2024, with the rainy season's arrival, water levels recovered and transit capacity is returning to normal. The Panama Supreme Court approved a new water source project drawing from the Indio River. Canal authorities view water itself as the bottleneck and are urgently pursuing long-term measures like watershed management and securing new water sources. If you were responsible for world trade, how would you solve this canal's water shortage problem? Engineering has triumphed, but climate presents a new challenge. and humanity is once again responding with engineering countermeasures. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. The Panama Canal simultaneously embodies human arrogance and engineering triumph. This channel analyzes these global structures from geopolitical and economic perspectives. Subscribe to the channel and join me next time to understand the geopolitical significance of world infrastructure. See you next time.